What's going on, guys? So another week in the books. It was the last weekly rotation of 2022. The videos being recorded the first day of 2023, going live January 2nd. There were some bangers this week. New stuff to the collection that I had to have. One that's unreleased that I know a lot of you want to hear more information about. My fragrance. Some just awesome stuff I've picked up this year. Couple of my favorite blue fragrances I've picked up early in the year. There's some good variety. There's something I haven't worn in a really long time. Red Tobacco is going to be in this video, for example. It was just an absolutely fan-friggin-tastic week of wearing fragrances. It's week number 159. Stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday, this is my favorite pickup of 2022. I did pick it up before the year ended. It is from Vertus Vanilla Oud. I would like to formally blame this purchase on Justin Copeland. I smelled it on him while we were in Chicago. Absolutely fell in love with this. We used it in a few videos. I'd smelled it on him all day that day. This is one of the best saffron, oud, vanilla, amber type fragrances. That's the main combination here that I've ever smelled. A little bit of this caramel smell. It's almost got this burnt vanilla tone to it, almost like a smoked nuance, if you will, in some ways. Bit of a boozy feel without any boozy notes. Performance is phenomenal. I paid Justin a compliment like 14 hours into his wear when he had came to my hotel room so we could record some videos late that evening. It had been like 13 or 14 hours since he had sprayed it, and when he walked by, I got a very strong hit of his sillage. I had to have this. I bought it from Perfume Empire's eBay store for $185 discounted. It was the only place I could find it, not at retail. It's right around $300 retail. Absolutely an experience worth having. I have fallen head over heels in love with this. I gave this a 9.5 out of 10, which those of you that watch this channel on a regular basis, you know that is a 10 from me because I don't do 10s. Keep pulling the cap to smell it because it's so good. A must try, in my opinion. Maybe you won't feel the way I do about it, but I highly doubt there's going to be people that are going to be like, ugh, that's a terrible fragrance. I'm not saying those people don't exist, but I just feel like it's highly unlikely. During the day, my first full wearing of Vertus Vanilla Oud. Then we got out the shower. This was actually one of my favorite cheap pickups of the year. It's an orange and lavender combination. It's Mercedes-Benz Club Blue. I really dig this one. This one gets, really no love. It gets the generic tag, the underwhelming tag. It gets all of that stuff. I just like the way this smells. I don't have another citrus aromatic that smells exactly like this one because that's exactly how I would classify it, because a lot of citrus and a lot of lavender at the top. It's a soapy, almost icy type of feel to the lavender. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's average in performance. It just smells really, really freaking good. A clean scent that you can wear for anything that doesn't smell like every other citrus aromatic lavender heavy fragrance that I own. It doesn't remind me distinctively of any other fragrances. It fits a genre and a style more so than a certain fragrance or two. Just beautiful stuff that gets overlooked that you can get in the sub $40 price point from discounters online. This is some really good stuff out the shower. Mercedes-Benz Club Blue. Moving into Monday, so this is the unreleased fragrance that I've been getting hit up left and right ever since I put a tease out that I had George's prototype bottle. This is Zaharoff Signature Leather Tobacco. Yeah, so you see the dent. I've been wearing it for a while. I was waiting on Chris from Fragmental's video. He filmed a special video to kind of the announcement release video of it, I guess you could say. We're going to talk about the scent in a second. And then Diego Menendez, shout out to him. He got the exclusive on the first written Instagram write-up for this. And the day those boys put that out, I put out a nice little video showcasing just a little tease, because I have a sealed 4-ounce bottle right here. I have the prototype for the retail box for the 2-ounce bottle I just showed you guys. You can see George on the back. All about details. And then this prototype all leather box was the reason I did the video, little shorts video. So this is not coming to market. It doesn't print as well as the other box does, so you can see it. You can't even tell that's George. The detail is not as good on the print, but it is a nice Really cool little thing. It's all tumble leather. The entire thing is made of tumbled leather. Literally, when I put the bottle in it, it kind of warps up the top because it's softer. Because there's only so much structure. It's completely made of tumbled leather. So same thing with the box. This isn't going to be a full review, but this is a metal plate that wraps all the way around that has a leather coating, a leather textured coating to it. It's actually not super thick, but thick enough. So on to what you guys really care about, the scent. So when you spray this one, what the hell, I'm going to spray it. Why not? It's going to overwhelm and overpower everything else in this video. Yes, it's that strong. Wow. A lot of plum. A lot of plum, spice, smoke. So there's birch tar and incense here. The leather and the suede give this rawhide animalic feel. There's a lot of spice. It's very warm. You're going to get a lot of that in the top. It's got a lot going on in the top. It's an overwhelmingly powerful smell in the opening that still manages to somehow be elegant and smooth, but very in your face, can be very overwhelming. It's strong. For those of you that didn't see, God, it's so good. I smell it just radiating off of my hand. For those of you that saw my live stream where I wore 3 sprays before we went to dinner, and Justin fussed me. He said, wait a second, did you just spray that 3 times again? I said, yeah. He said, didn't you learn your lesson from yesterday? Because I'd sprayed 3 sprays the night before. This is immensely powerful. Immensely powerful. Heavy sprayers, people are going to hate your guts. They're not going to want to compliment you. You're going to just overwhelm the room. I could be wrong. You might still get a compliment, but you heavy sprayers, this sucker's ridiculously strong. The most powerful fragrance that has ever come through Zaharoff. This is the most powerful fragrance Claude Deer has ever made for George. So in that top, you're going to get that, like I said, a nice undertone of the spice, a big hit of animalic, edgy leather that still manages to be smooth. It's got a rough edge to it, but it's still, it's weird to say that it's still kind of smooth. Like when you smell it, you'll understand where I'm coming from. It's kind of strange the way it works out. And the plum doesn't make it overwhelmingly sweet, but it does add this juicy smell to what would be kind of too rough and animalic of a fragrance, I think. But that birch tar really adds this dark, smoky accord. To go with the incense, it does smooth out more and more as it dries, but this opening is pungent and powerful. As it settles, you're going to get spicier. It's going to get a lot more spicy. There's some woods here. There's a strong resinous tone to this fragrance as well. But that's pretty much what you're left with is the leather smooths out more and more. It's a little bit of a muskiness, but it's more of an overall leather base because it's leather and suede as it dries down. And like I said, it's basically spicy leather with some woods and resins the whole way through. It's not a drastically changing, heavily nuanced fragrance. There are subtle changes and subtle nuances to the fragrance. What you get at the top is definitely not what you end up with in the deep dry down. But it's crazy, crazy powerful. I have not done more than 3 sprays because I don't have a reason to. I think the most I'll ever spray this one is 5. And that's only based on setting and situation. If I'm going to be in an open area, I may do 5 to kind of draw some attention for that. Because 3 has deemed more than enough on my skin. So that's my initial thoughts that I want to give you guys. Initial as in the first time I'm really coming on video to talk to you guys about it. I could do a full review right here and now. I kind of gave you a halfway review, I guess you could say, because it does release on February 1st here domestically. luxparfum.co.uk. Chris is taking pre-orders, but the official release date is February 1st, 2023. So be on the lookout for leather tobacco. Then when I got out the shower, I was just on a roll. Figured why the hell not, so it was time to shave. Zaharoff signature tobacco, the aftershave splash, the shave set, and of course a few sprays of the fragrance, that juice level. This is a lot of people's favorite from the house. And just briefly, you will get this DNA as it settles down. As leather tobacco dries, you will smell tobacco in there, but this is a reworked fragrance from this. It's not same tobacco. This is herbal, aromatic, and leafy. This is rich, thick, and robust, earthy tobacco, which I didn't really touch on the tobacco much in this one. That's why I say it's not a full review. Got to leave some room for desire, you know what I mean? But this is much more aromatic, airy, more wearable every day, whereas you got to like deep, dark, rich, and heavy leather to rock this one. This is a super uber crazy ridiculously masculine version of this fragrance, and believe it or not, they are not redundant to own at all. They are more different. They're much more different from one another then they are the same. You will pick this one up as this one gets into the dry down, but trust me, for the first few hours, very few similarities. So just wanted to touch on that because I know somebody's going to ask in the comments, but it was a great full day experience to have leather tobacco during the day and then have a nice shave and out the shower spray of the original tobacco. It was a great day. So out the shower, Zaharoff signature tobacco. Moving into Tuesday, this one's new to the collection. I'm actually quite digging it. It's metallic, a little ozonic, but still manages to be earthy, a little floral. It's interesting. It's intense leather from Ferragamo. I've only done the one full wearing so far. I picked this up at perfumeonline.ca. See, I love the way that smells. It still maintains that metallic violet leaf smell that the original has, but it definitely goes in a different direction. It's pleasant. It's still mass appealing, but it's strangely mass appealing. And what I mean by that is it's got this earthy soil, like dirt smell to it, as weird as that is. Mixed with like this soft, soapy floral tone. I believe it's iris that's in here. It does have a leathery smell, but it's not too edgy or rough. It's pretty smooth leather. It's a nice fragrance. It really is. It smells strange in the opening, but it dries down nice and smooth and kind of easy going. It's really quite the lovely fragrance. I want to wear it more, and I'll probably do a full review. This one definitely needs more than one wearing to kind of really get the full story here. But so far, really digging this one. Ferragamo Intense Leather. And then out the shower, I had just filmed my favorite cheap pickups of the year, so I was in the mood for it with Missoni Wave. Figured why the hell not? The poor man's take on Chanel L'Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Or Chanel L'Homme Sport more than the Eau Extreme. Good stuff. I love this fragrance. Citrus. It's aquatic. It's sweet. It's floral. It's aromatic and soapy. It's got a lot of nuances to it, believe it or not. At Marshall's, it pops up for $33 and for $60. Don't buy it for $60. You can get it cheaper online. If you see it at Marshall's for $32.99, yeah, grab it. I paid $31.99 earlier this past year because it's 2023 now. For $31.99 at TJ Maxx. It only went up $1, but there's some Marshalls and TJ Maxx's that are charging $60. Do not pay $60. You can get it cheaper than that online. And at other Marshalls and Marshalls and TJ Maxx, you can get it for $33 because it's a great addition to anyone's collection, especially if you like to only get certain blue fragrances. You don't want to get a bunch of them like I have. This is one of the better ones. This is one of the best cheap blue fragrances I've ever smelled. Out the shower, it was a pleasure to wear. Missoni Wave. Moving into Wednesday, so it was kind of a Zaharoff heavy week. You'll notice there's 6 Zaharoff fragrances total in here, but all home run bangers that are ridiculously good, especially Evening Mystique. Yes, my newest creation in collaboration with Zaharoff. Perfumed by Master Perfumer Claude. Dear God, that's so good. Love it. Love it, love it. Herbaceous, aromatic, and spicy. Soft and creamy, powdery iris. Iris is not the feature note. It's a supporting note this time. Business over pleasure. Iris was the feature note. It's more featured around incense, cypress. You get a lot of the juniper here to give this aromatic feel. It's not really a gin hit. That's where your aromatics are coming from. Nice spicy hit of coriander. A lot of resins. There's olibanum. There's frankincense. So there's 2 different types of incense. You have myrrh in here as well, which gives a soft, balsamic yet vanillic feel. That's where your sweetness is going to come from. A clean, creamy patchouli and musk. Nice, warm, ambery feel. Performance is great. It's a 25% pure parfum, so it hangs around all day. The opening is not the same as the Heart and Early Dry Down. The Heart and Early Dry Down is not the same as the Deep Dry Down. This fragrance changes rapidly from the opening to the heart. But as time progresses, it just continues to nuance and change. And that's been everybody's experience from what I'm seeing, as far as everybody that I've seen feedback from. Get them while we got them. It's really good stuff. Link down below if you're interested. If you want to try before you buy, go to fatboyfragrance.com and scoop a decant from Juan. Use code Z15 to save 15% on the decants from fatboyfragrance.com. Or if you're ready to jump on a bottle while we still have stock, like I said, link below to grab Zaharoff and TLTG reviews. Evening Mystique. Business over Pleasure Act 2. And then when I got out the shower, I went blue fragrance. Mercedes-Benz Man Blue. more aromatic version, I guess, of Sauvage. It's actually kind of a little bit more metallic than it is more aromatic, to be honest. It smells really, really damn good. I mean, this gets overlooked. There's so many Sauvage-like fragrances out there, and this is definitely one that's like that, but it's enjoyable. It's super redundant if you have a bunch of Ambroxan Bomb fragrances, because this, like I said, even though I don't even think Ambroxan's listed, if I remember correctly, it smells like a Sauvage clone, but a good one. A good one if that counts for anything. You can get them for a decent price. Not something I would recommend rushing out and getting if you have other fragrances that smell like Sauvage, or if you have Sauvage EDT. It'll be pretty redundant, but it's got a slight twist to it. But Mercedes, I mean, they only put out decent fragrance. There's nothing garbage coming from the house. They put out, you know, good, very good to great fragrances. Some of their fragrances are even great. I would put this one in the very good category. But out the shower, Mercedes-Benz Man Blue. Moving into Thursday, believe it or not, this is just as powerful as Leather Tobacco. This is the only other fragrance that can rival Leather Tobacco's power in this video, and we're talking Mancera Red Tobacco. Yeah, Leather Tobacco's that strong. And for those of you that haven't heard before, my bottle leaked. That's why there's bubbles in the label and so on. I recently did a full review on this one that I couldn't believe I had never done a full review on before, but for more of my in-depth thoughts on this fragrance, definitely check out the full review from, handful of days ago at the recording of this. Pungent oud spice, sweetness. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's immensely powerful. This is an older bottle. I've heard, you always hear, I heard it got reformulated with damn near every fragrance I talk about ever. So, I don't know. As far as I know, most people that I've ever talked to online, this is a beast for them. It's a beast for me, so everybody's experience is different. Try before you buy. Not really the most safe blind buy out there. But damn if it isn't good. It's a robust, rich, and earthy tobacco smell, too. This is one of the best tobacco fragrances ever. I've been saying that for years. There was a time years ago when this was my favorite tobacco fragrance on the market. You can't go wrong here. Great for this time of year in the winter. Great to cut through the cold. And it was nice to wear during the day. Mancera's Red Tobacco. And then when I got out the shower, I wanted to go with fresh because I'd been wearing some heavy fragrances, so I was going fresh every night. The previous night, I went with Mercedes-Benz Man Blue. I went with Zaharoff Signature Citrine on this night out the shower. Just a gorgeous smoky citrus. So I've said it many times, when there's an incense note in these fragrances, it seems to work well with my skin chemistry. It'll really show up. So I get that beautiful, sweet, almost limey clementine, sweet orange smell with a lot of incense and amber combo. Just a beautiful, this is such a great scent. It really is. Not the strongest performer in the world, but it's a true, fresh, natural citrus smell. It's a freshie. It's a real freshie. The thing that was lacking from the Zaharoff collection was an actual fresh fragrance. Citrus-dominant fresh fragrance, here you go. Running low on stock, and it's probably going to be an exclusive for the Italian and European market in 2023. So if you're here in North America and you were looking to get a bottle, I do know George is running pretty low on stock, so if you want to get it, you might want to get it soon because it may potentially be gone forever here in the States. So just to let you guys know, again, link down below, and I'll actually put my Zaharoff link so you can save 10% on the regular releases. You can't get 10% off on the Z Creators, but you can get 10% off on the existing releases from the House of Zaharoff. So not saying you need to get it. It's not a must-have for everyone. I get that. You can get samples. You can get travel atomizers. There's ways to try it on the Zaharoff website. See if it's for you. See how you feel about it. If you're looking for a beast, this ain't a beast. If you're looking for a unique freshie, this definitely is. Out the shower, Zaharoff Signature Citrine. Moving into Friday, we're right back to the house. I ended up wearing it all day. Funny story. We were at Walmart, me and my wife, and we were getting drinks in the aisle, and in that aisle, the beer's on one side, sodas are on the other. Was getting some Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Major Melon cans. I was trying those out. Lady walks by, leans over to my wife and says, "I hope this doesn't offend you, but I just have to tell him how good he smells." And she looked at me and she said, "You smell amazing. What are you wearing?" I was wearing Zaharoff Signature Royale X. One that I kind of forget I have sometimes. I don't wear it that often. That's why the dent's not huge. I don't wear it that often because I seem to forget about it. Because my go-tos are Rosé, which I'm actually wearing right now. Rosé is my scent of the day. Rosé, Tobacco, and Citrine. And, of course, Evening Mystique. But as far as the regular releases, Rosé, Tobacco, and Citrine are kind of like the three I wear the most. And I forgot how enjoyable of a musk this is. A beautiful zesty citrus at the top, nice and clean and fresh, aromatic, and starts to settle into a slightly animalic, a little bit more of a naughty smell, I guess you could say. Slightly animalic musk as it dries. This is a lot of people's favorite from the house, especially if you like clean musk scents. You'll probably like this one. And I'm not a big fan of musk. I like cleaner musks. That's why I enjoy this one. So much so that when I got out the shower that evening, I gave myself another 3 sprays because it's pretty strong sillage on this one. It's not a heavy projector, but it's a high oil concentration, so it will stick to your skin and it lingers. That was kind of the experience with the lady at Walmart. It was very nice of her. It's always memorable. And it seems to happen more times than not when I'm in a grocery store. That's usually where I get a compliment from a stranger, is at a grocery store, because that's kind of the places I frequent the most, because we only grocery shop for 2 or 3 days at a time. We buy as fresh as we can. So we go to the grocery store several times a week. Different ones too, Kroger's, Safeways, which the Kroger's we use are King Soopers, and then Walmart and Walmart Neighborhood Market, depending on what we're getting. But I digress. It has nothing to do with the fragrance. It was a beautiful, clean, musky day for me. All day long, I went with Zaharoff Signature Royale X. Finally on Saturday, New Year's Eve, 2 special fragrances. Special day, special fragrances. Close out the year right. And then today, I started the year right. That's why I'm wearing rosé. I don't know what I'm going to wear when I get out the shower later, but during the day on New Year's Eve, I went with Soma Parfums Halcyon. This is one of my favorite pickups of the year, one of the best releases in a while. Picture Angel Share. Now, crank up the cinnamon spice. A lot of cinnamon. If you don't like cinnamon, you'll hate this. This is a lot of cinnamon. With this rich and earthy tobacco as it dries down. It's like taking Angel Share and adding some more complexity, making it spicier and adding some tobacco. This is gorgeous. Great atomizer, too. It's a 75 ml. This is one of those if you know kind of fragrances. It's got quiet hype. Like those in the know that this is freaking amazing. Not everybody's hip to the game on this one yet. This is absolutely worth sampling. Check my link. I'll have try to have links to everything below. But you can get this from Kingdom Fragrances and save 15% off a bottle. Or you can just get a decant and try it. You can build a discovery set or just buy one sample. This is one I highly recommend you sample. I want to experience more from the house because this is an absolute certified freaking banger. I love this. Is one of the best pickups of the year for me for 2022. It was nice to end the year with this because it's that damn good. It's freaking awesome. If you like Angel Share, this is better than Angel Share. I stand behind that fully. I like Angel Share. I love it. I really like Angel Share, but I love this. During the day, Soma Parfums Halcyon. And since I had several streams going on, I did a stream. I jumped on one of Joey's streams. Shout out to Joey Cannoli. Subscribe to Joey Cannoli Raw, his newer channel, if you haven't yet. And I felt like let's close the year out right. This is one I never wear because I just kind of collect this fragrance, really and truly. It's a special fragrance. It was an absolute hype beast in 2021. Curly Scents and Zaharoff, the Siren. You see there's no huge dent on the Siren because I seldom wear it. I wore 3 sprays last night. I just have the one bottle, which actually the box is right here. And then we all signed, and I'm just going to angle it a little bit. That's a note from Andrea. For the first go-round, we all wrote nice little notes inside the boxes for one another. And this is, I mean, I don't know what to say that you guys haven't heard about this. This is a hype beast. There's people that were crazy enough to pay $500 resale after it sold out because this was so good and so many people enjoyed it. A lot of leather. It's very gourmand heavy. I get a lot of hazelnut out of this one on my skin. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Not quite as feminine as the new release of the Immortals. That has a lot of coconut and jasmine on my skin while still getting a nice dose of warm and spicy, boozy smell at the top. So it's kind of like that counterbalances the coconut and jasmine to where it's not too feminine. Very unisex scent. Beautiful, beautiful gourmand floral, I guess you could say. Whereas this is much more of a gourmand leather in many ways. I want to say it's a suede more so than a leather. Could be wrong. But this is magnificent, and I felt like it was the absolute best way for me to close out a great year that was 2022 for me personally with something that is just super rare, super hype, and super special to me because it's, you know, from the brilliant mind of my dear friend, from my favorite house and brand It's just something you just can't get. It's really, really special. So I felt like that was the right fragrance to close out the year, New Year's Eve, the Siren. Well, that was the last rotation of 2022. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What was your rotation like to end the year? I'm very curious. I know it was Zaharoff heavy this week. It really was. It was not by design. Just kind of shook out that way. I get in the mood for certain fragrances, and I rock them. All of the new Zed Creator fragrances stay on my rotation table. Rosé, TABAC, and CITRINE and Business Over Pleasure stay on my rotation table. I pulled out the Siren and Royale X for this. It's just leather TABAC is right here below my camera. I keep it right here within arm's reach. I'm always randomly spraying leather TABAC. Like, so good. Can't wait for you guys to try it. So, you know, the trolls will probably crack a joke about it being a lot of Zaharoff fragrances, but hey, it's all great shit. If you haven't tried anything from Zaharoff, you're doing yourself a disservice. Get some samples from the website. Like I said, there's going to be plenty of different links down below. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of these, and you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.